Merry meet YouTube, this is Kiki here. Sorry if my voice cuts in and out, I have a bit of a cough. So if my voice tries to die, I apologize. But the video I have for you all today is of the pile of stones in front of me. Today I'm actually going to be talking to you about Rune Talismans, Sabbat Talismans, and God Stones. Well, what I would like to call them, because I do use them primarily in my practice. I use the God Stones, obviously, for the representation of all the deities in the Pantheon. And then also the Sabbat Stones for each Sabbat, and then Rune Talismans for certain things. Sorry, my familiar decided to come over and go, "Mommy, pay attention to me." So if she pops in the video, I am so sorry. There, baby. Go over there. Thank you. Anyway, let's start with this little one. This one here. Focus. Yes. Focus. Anyway. This one right here is a protection talisman. Particularly for a child. Well, it could be for anyone, but it's primarily for a child. To put in their bed or in a secret little compartment within their room to protect them, or somewhere in the house that they primarily are in. It would be much preferred to be in the bedroom, because that's where they should be the safest, besides being in the house. But this, like I said, this is a protection talisman. Now, rune talismans don't have to be just one particular rune. They can be one or two runes, or as many runes as you wish, that fit on said stone, that are meant to be on said stone. As you see, this one only has 2. And that's all it needs. And this has been charged and put with a lot of intention to protect a child or children. So, and another example is the talisman that I gave to 13 in our Yule swap. Yes, you'll recognize it as this one right here. Now, with runes, they can represent either the Sabbat, particular meanings, or a deity itself. Now, and this is where I'm going to go into the Sabbat stones. Now, this stone in particular is actually connected to just this past Sabbat, Yule. This is the Yule talisman, but it is also connected to the god Thor. Now, Thor has his own stone in here, and it is not of this rune. It is of Mjolnir. Now, some deities will just have a particular rune as their symbol, or they will have some form of actual symbol. But like I said, back to the Sabbat stones. This one in particular is to the Sabbat of Yule. Now, these ones I particularly pick out to represent the Sabbat that any heathen really practices. Granted, I do practice the Wiccan Sabbats, which do coalesce with a lot of these Sabbats. And like I said, this one was for Yule. This stone represents the wheel of the year. Now, this is one I just continuously have on my altar because it represents all Sabbats. And I generally feel if the wheel of the year should be on my altar at all times, or just particularly near Samhain, because that is when the wheel fully turns. And then here is my Ostara Sabbat talisman. And then this is a Sabbat stone to a particular celebration that is known as the Maiden Day. Now, that's obviously not a very Wiccan holiday or Sabbat, but that's a celebration that most heathens practice if they do practice it, if they know about it. I've practiced it once, and well, I will do such ritual when I have a daughter, since I am no longer a maiden. And then there is this one, which represents the autumn equinox. And then, if any of you know Norse mythology, or any of the rune meanings that are connected to deities, this is the rune that's connected to Tyr, which is called Tyr. This is for the Sabbat that's called Halof, or pretty much Lamas, and basically it's just a Wiccan Sabbat of a different name, but in a more heathen style. I'm sorry, my nose was itchy. This stone is for the Midsummer Night. This one in particular is one of my favorite talismans for the Sabbats because it is for the Night of Spectres. And in heathen practice, that is Halloween or Samhain. And the moment that it turns October 1st, this always appears on my altar, along with a certain godstone, well, a couple of certain godstones, because there's a couple of Norse deities that are death gods as well. And then there's this particular rune. It's technically connected to Yule, but not fully. It's for the winter solstice, which I know everyone would say, oh, that's Yule, but it's a different rite in Norse mythology. It's more for satyr work, magicians, sorcerers during the winter solstice. Basically, mostly more magical workings than Yule, since Yule is more for the family. And then, last but not least, this particular rune is connected to the god Freyr, and it represents the spring equinox. Now we get into the godstones. Some of them are MIA at the moment because they're still packed away in a couple boxes. And yeah, so I know 2 are missing, so I apologize. Well, actually, no, 3. Let's start off with this one. Now, as you see, this one is a fairly decent size. This is the godstone for Odin when he is in the form of the Allfather. I have one where he is in the form of the Wanderer, but that one is currently MIA, as he's probably wondering about. But yes, this is the symbol for Odin when he is in his Allfather form. And then, who's gonna pop up next? Let's see. This is the talisman for Broggi. And the godstone for Boulder. Godstone for Sif. And of course, for Loki, because I still do work with Loki. Not much, but I do. Heimdall. The Norns, which are very important. They are the fates of the Norse pantheon. Ran. Balder's wife, Nana. And Holda. Iduna. Uller. I know those looked really similar, but they're actually they're very different. Let's see. Holdor. Humidor. And lastly, Freyr's wife, Gerd. Those are the godstones that I have at the current. I do have, like I said, I do have stones of Thor, Odin as the Wanderer, and my Freya stone is MIA, which they're probably all three just kind of collaborating, going, we're just going to sit here and wait. But yes, these are the different stones, because I know people have been curious of what they are. And Rune Talismans are the more common thing. Sabbat stones and God stones you don't really see. The reason I did these is because I couldn't afford any kind of statues. And even when I have a statue, these will pop up and be there. But it's just an easy representation for me. I feel super connected to them, and when I use them instead of a statue, since I collected these stones, washed these stones, and did them up myself, I feel more connected to each deity that I've created one for, as well as the Sabbats. And I know you don't really necessarily need one for the Sabbats, but in heathen practice, we put up a symbol at each Sabbat to represent it. Alright, this video has gone on for about 13 minutes now, and I'd say that's a pretty decent video. If you guys have any more questions about rune stones, Sabbat stones, or God stones, I will be more than happy to answer any of them. And as always, blessed be and skod.